Namaste, friends. This is Jillian from One Love Yoga, and I am so thankful that you are here spending the next hour with me. I would love to be in the studio space with you guys right now, but unfortunately with recent circumstances it just isn't possible. But I'm really thankful for technology that we have available to us so that we can stay connected during these times. I know it's not the same as being with our friends and our yoga community in the studio space, but hopefully we will all be together again before too long. This class will be a 1 hour practice. It's an all levels class. You might want to have 2 blocks, and if you don't have blocks at home, a couple of books would be helpful. And it's not a particularly fast vinyasa. It's a class where we're just moving, breathing. Namaste, friends. This is Jillian from One Love Yoga, and I am so thankful that you are here to spend the next hour with me. Even though we are not practicing together in person right now, this will hopefully help us to keep a sense of community going during these challenging times when many of us are feeling isolated from our friends, our family, and our yoga community. I just want you to know that I feel it too. There's nothing I'd love more than to be in the studio and practicing with all of you. But I thank you for your patience as we try out this new platform to keep our classes going to the best of our ability. Life throws these curveballs at us, and oftentimes we are not expecting them or unprepared. But life is constantly teaching us, constantly challenging us to go with the flow and learn to live in acceptance and to practice all the tools that we learn in our yoga practice, and perhaps more so now than ever. So we need each other, and I am glad that you are here with me right now. This class will be a 1 hour practice. It's an all levels class. You may find it helpful to have 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, have 2 large books. They will do just as well. And if you don't have those, it's not a problem either. I'm going to begin today's class with a short reading from one of my favorite books by Jeff Foster. It's called The Way of Rest. And I was reading this morning, and it just seems quite appropriate for this current time. Friend, I know that sometimes it feels like everything's falling apart. And even the most beautiful spiritual words sound like meaningless, flowery, new age dribble. We lose everything we thought defined us or made us happy, everything that seemed to matter to us. And it feels like we will never recover. We are left in total despair, disappointment, disillusionment. It seems like the end, with no hope of recovery. Yet in life there are no true endings, only transformations, new beginnings emerging from rubble. The invitation today is to be present to your life, to wake up to it, to turn towards this immediacy, to dignify what is actually happening where you are. If there is loneliness visiting you here and now, do not turn away. If there is fear, do not push it away or try to escape. If there is frustration, anxiety, or just a quiet sense of hopelessness moving in you, do not reject these energies. They just want to be felt now. They are not wrong. They are your lost children, orphans of awakening, and just want to move and be felt. Sometimes life brings us to our knees so that we will feel everything we've been running away from all our lives. And yes, the meeting may hurt, but perhaps feeling the hurt is the beginning of healing and not the ending of it. I encourage you as we practice together today to move through whatever it is you're feeling. Be focused on your breath, be focused on the energies moving through your body. And for this next hour, trying to become truly present to sensation, to breath, to emotions, and just letting all of it be, whatever it is, and just know that it's exactly as it should be. We'll start with a short pranayama practice. Just getting ourselves centered and breathing deeply before we start to move. So sitting comfortably, you can rest your hands down on your knees for grounding or have your palms facing upwards, whatever feels most natural to you. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, softly close your eyes or bring your gaze to the tip of your nose. And without any judgment, just observe the breath in your body right now. Maybe you've been feeling anxious, stressed, or worried. And that might be showing up in your breath. It might be shallow, it might be choppy. You might notice that it's hard to take those deep breaths and that your breath feels stuck in the top of your chest. It's okay. Don't judge, but just be the witness. Observing for a moment or two. And then becoming a little more conscious of the breath. Exhaling all the air out of your belly. And as you breathe in, breathing in, let your belly inflate, rib cage expand. Breathe into the upper chest, take the air all the way into the back of the throat. And then softly let all the air out. Notice how it feels to be conscious of the breath. Be conscious of the movements of the breath in your body. Feeling the air as you take it in through your nose, the sensations. Feeling the exhale as you breathe out. Noticing is your exhale shorter than your inhale. Is it hard to breathe deeply? Is it hard to feel? Now empty your belly of air again. This time breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Find a pause at the top. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue to breathe deeply here. Noticing how it felt to be in that conscious breathing state. If you were able to focus your mind, focus your energy a little bit more. And if not, again, not judging, just reminding yourself that you're just practicing. Now softly, with the gaze slightly down, begin to flutter your eyelids open. And we'll make our way into a child's pose. If you have your 2 blocks, you can have them at the top of your mat. Taking your knees wide, touching the big toes together. Sit your hips back to your heels and stretch out through your fingertips. Maybe you even press the pads of the fingers into the earth to lift the hands. Feeling a little more of a stretch in your shoulders. And gently rest your forehead into the earth. Maybe massaging your third eye as you move the head slightly from left to right. And starting to drink in some of that Ujjayi breath if you're familiar with that and comfortable with it in your practice. Taking long inhales and exhales through the nose. Finding a slight constriction in the back of your throat so your breath starts to take on a slightly audible sound, like the sound of the ocean. in. Lift yourself up, coming into tabletop position. Having your fingers spread wide, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Hips right over the knees. On your breath in, drop the belly, lift your gaze for your cow pose. And as you exhale, scoop the navel to the spine, round your back for cat. Inhale and drop the belly, lift the gaze, feel every movement in your spine. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, let the head hang heavy, and bring your gaze to your navel for cat. And just cycle back and forward here a few times, moving with the pace of your own breath. Stretching your breath, that's what the word pranayama means, to stretch the breath. So let the breath be the practice before anything else. You can stay with your cat-cows, or maybe it feels good to start making some circular movements, shifting the weight forward into the tips of the fingers, sitting back towards the heels. And whatever direction you're circling in, move it in the opposite direction. Find a sense of ease with every movement in your practice. And now coming into puppy pose, if you have two blocks, you're welcome to place them at the top of your mat. This gives you a little bit of a deeper stretch in your shoulders. If not, hands on the mat is fine. Keep your hips over your knees. And just direct the heart, the forehead towards the earth. You should feel a big stretch here in the back of the shoulders and the upper back. And if this is too intense, feel free to come back to your child's pose. Or maybe take your arms a little wider. If you notice any compression in your shoulders or anything doesn't feel good. And then just breathe. How does it feel to be in this shape? Softening your heart, softening your breath. And pressing into your hands, move your blocks out of the way and come back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, hover your knees an inch off the mat. As you tuck your tailbone, again, taking the gaze towards your belly, so you're in this almost cat-like shape. And then pressing your sitting bones up to the sky, downward facing dog. Just take a moment or two here to pedal out your feet from left to right. Gently pulsing your chest back towards your thighs. And then finding a moment of stillness here. Keep your knees micro bent. That will help you to lift your tailbone a little bit higher. It should feel good in your lower back. Relax your head and your neck completely, and notice if you're clenching your jaw, try to soften. And your next breath in, ripple forward into a high plank, top of the push-up position. And this is a strong plank, so you're pushing the earth away, lengthening your tailbone. And then put a slight bend in your knees, lift your hips, and come back into your downward facing dog. Breathing in, ripple forward into your high plank. And as you exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin to the earth. Take an inhaling breath for cobra pose. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips to your heels, and then straighten your legs again for downward facing dog. Come up onto the tiptoes and start to tiptoe your way to the top of the mat, really taking your time to feel every movement, every sensation. And then when you arrive at the top of your mat, separate your feet hip distance, and you can take 2 fists between the arches to measure. Bring your hands behind your legs, cross at the wrists. You're going to bring the hands through the space, so your right hand comes to the top of your left shin, and your left hand to the top of the right shin, so your belly is glued to your thighs. Start to bend and straighten the knees a little bit here. You're probably not going to straighten your legs all the way, as you're just focusing here on folding from the hip crease without straining your lower back. And then find your edge. So just straighten the legs as much as you can, being kind and gentle as you're just warming up. Relaxing your head. Softening your jaw. And bringing the weight just a little more forward into the balls of the feet as opposed to the heels. And then untangle yourself. Sprinkle your fingertips down to the mat. Toe heel your feet together. And roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Tadasana, mountain pose, palms facing forward. Take a full breath in as you lift your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, the palms bow through your heart center as you bring fingertips down to the earth. Take an inhaling breath, lengthening the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hover your right foot off the mat, so you're plugging your thigh bone into the socket. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of your mat. Lower the knee down to the earth. Take an inhaling breath, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your left hand either to your left hip, the block or the mat, and stretch your right arm towards the left side of the room. You should feel a delicious stretch along the right side. Bring your right fingertips down to the earth. Half splits, tuck your right toes. Straighten your left leg and use your fingertips like claws, like you're trying to pull the mat back to lengthen your heart forward. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, you're going to rebend your left knee, plant your palms, lift the right knee off the mat. Take an inhale, close twist, left arm reaches high. As you exhale, turn your left toes out 45 degrees. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Start to lower the right hips towards the earth as you stretch your left fingers behind you. Feel the stretch in the left hip. And as you exhale, bring your left hand back to the top of the mat. Turn your toes forward. Start to straighten your left leg, flex your toes. Press the hips back. Lengthen the spine. Good. Bring your hands flat to the mat. Pluck your left heel off the earth. Lift the left leg up and back behind you. Three-legged downward facing dog. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Try to keep your shoulders squared. Micro bend your right knee. Take the gaze towards the right thigh. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, take your left knee to your right tricep, twisting underneath your body. Inhaling breath, left leg lifts high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep, twist. Inhaling breath, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. This time, extend your left leg out. Try to line the knife edge of the foot up with the right fingertips. Ground your right heel and take a deep breath in. Reach your right arm high, fallen triangle. As you exhale, you're going to lower your bum to the mat. So you're in this wide-legged fold. Lower your right hand or forearm to the mat. Stretch your left arm alongside your ears. And we flow. Left hand lowers, right arm reaches, breathing. Moving with your breath, so conscious awareness on your breath to keep your mind and your body grounded and connected. Finding that true yoke, that union of our practice. This time, come all the way back to center. Take a deep breath in, lift your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your left hand back to the top of the mat. Lift your hips back into your fallen triangle. Stretch the right arm forward. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Try to keep your left leg straight as you lift it all the way up and back into your three-legged dog. Step your left foot through to the top of the mat. Skandasana into your right leg, so you're turning to the right, bending your right knee, flexing your left toes. Now bending into your left leg, flexing your right toes. Use your hands for supports. Now this time we're bending the right knee, we're turning to the right for Vishnu's couch again. Plant the left hand, turn your right toes out, lower your left hip, and reach the right hand back. Lift your hips, turn your right toes forward. You're coming back into that long pyramid stance. Flex your right toes. Now this time, rebend your right knee. Step your left foot up beside your right. And forward fold, Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhaling breath to forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lower the hips, lift the arms. Seated chair pose, torso to thighs, arms sweep back. Inhaling breath, lift the arms back up to chair. Exhale, seated chair. Breathing in, straighten the legs, lift the arms, bend the elbows, cactus arms as the heart reaches to the heavens. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and forward fold. Sprinkle your fingertips to the mat, lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Pluck your right foot off the ground. Standing splits, lift your right leg up. Keep your legs squared. Walk your fingertips back. Bring your chest towards your left thigh. Maybe take your left hand behind the calf, but but keep a micro bend in the left knee. You're not overstretching your hamstrings. Step your right foot slowly to the back of your mat. Anchor the heel for warrior one. So the right toes are turned out to about 45 degrees. And as you inhale, your arms lengthen up. Breathing here. Finding that sweet spot, the balance between the effort and the ease. That's where we find the flow. Straightening your left leg. Turn your left toes to the right. Turn your right toes back to the top of the mat. Extend the arms out at shoulder height. Reach your right fingertips forward. Trikonasana. Lower your right hand down to the mat, your shin or block, as you lift your left arm up. Breathing deeply again, taking those tiny little micro bends in your knees. Press your right big toe mound down into the earth, so you're not rolling to the outer edge of the foot. Stretch your left arm alongside your ear. Keep turning your right ribs up. Now lower your right hand to the inside, or your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Lower your left knee down. Reach your right arm to the back of the room. Stay here. Or start to roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Maybe bend your left knee and take your right hand to your left foot. Now instead of drawing the foot towards you, try to kick the foot back, open up your chest, and get a big shoulder opener. And now slowly lower the left toes back down. Bring your right hand back to the top of your mat. Lift the left knee. Start to straighten the right leg. Hover the right foot off the mat and step it back into downward facing dog. Breathing in, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the earth. Inhaling breath for cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips back to your heels, and then transition into downward facing dog. Once again, coming up to the tippy toes. Start to maneuver your way forward again to the top of your mat. Feel your palms pressing down into the earth with every little step that you take. Separating your feet to hip distance again. This time hold opposite elbows. Relax the head and the neck. And coming into ragdoll. Take a gentle sway from side to side. Bringing your fingertips back to the earth. Toe heel your feet together. And once again, roll your spine all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, into Tadasana. Breathing in, lift the arms up, gaze skyward. Exhale, the hands come through heart center, sprinkling fingertips down to the earth. Lengthening the spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, hover the left foot off the mat. And then slowly, with control, step your left foot back. Lower your left knee sweetly to the earth. Inhale, lift your arms up. This time on your exhale, your right hand comes to your right hip, or your fingertips come down to the earth or the block as you stretch your left arm towards the right side of the room. Bring your left hand back down to the mat. Start to straighten your right leg this time for your half split. So the hips glide back, the right toes flexed. Use your fingertips again like claws on your sticky mat. Heart moves forward and the neck stays long. Now starting to bend back into your right leg. Close twist, plant your left palm. Lift the left knee and stretch your right arm up. As you exhale, turn your right toes to the right, about 45 degrees. Come to the outer edge of the left foot. Start to lower the left hip towards the earth as you stretch your right fingertips back. Coming into that long pyramid stance, lift your hips. Turn your right toes back to the top of the mat. Straightening your right leg, maybe flexing the toes and folding forward. Now press your palms into the earth. Start to hover the right foot. Lift your right leg all the way up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip. Again, drawing the right shoulder down in line with your left. Breathe. Notice how good it feels to be in your body. No judgment, just being here. You, your breath, your body moving. Straighten your right leg, square your hips. Take your right knee to your left tricep, a little twist. Maybe it kisses the tricep, maybe it doesn't. Inhaling breath, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Give it a little smooch. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, left tricep, stay. Ground your left heel. Extend your right leg out to the left. Try to line knife edge of right foot up with the left hand. And then extend the left arm up, open through the chest. And then slowly start to lower your bum all the way down to the earth. Left hand or forearm lowers, right arm reaches up and over. Exhale, right hand lowers, left arm stretches. And again, a couple of times, moving with the flow of your breath. And then coming back to center, bring your right hand back to the top of the mat. Lower the outer edge of your right foot, ground your left foot, ball and triangle, left arm reaches up. Bring your left hand back to the top of your mat. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Engage your core. Try to keep the right leg as straight as possible. That's hard. Reach your right leg high to the sky. Step your right foot all the way through to the top of the mat. Skandasana. Turn to your left. Bend deeply into your right knee. Flex your left toes. Bend into your left leg. Flex your right toes. One more time to the right. Maybe you try lifting your hands off the earth. And now this time as we transition to the left leg, it's that Vishnu's couch again. So you're bending your left knee. Bring your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Spin the left toes out. Come to the outer edge of your right foot. Look long through your left fingers. Bring your left hand back around to the top of the mat. Adjust your feet. And step your right foot forward this time. And lower it beside your left. Fold. Inhaling breath, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, chest to thighs. Bend your knees, chair pose. Lift your arms up, breathing in. Exhale, seated chair pose, chest hovers over the thighs, neck is long. Inhaling breath, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, seated chair pose. Inhaling to chair, start to straighten your legs, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, open the heart. As you fold forward, catch the hands behind your back, interlace all 10 fingers, and forward fold. As you bring your fingertips to the mat, lengthen your spine, hover your left foot off the girth, and then take it back behind you for your standing splits. Microband your right knee, square your hips. Maybe take your right hand behind your calf and come into a little bit of a deeper fold. And lower your right hand down, bend your right knee, and in slow motion, take the left leg back. Anchor your left heel for warrior one. Inhaling breath, lift your arms. Turn your left ribs forward. Reach up through your fingertips. And breathe, finding the anchor in your back foot. And straightening your right leg. Turn your right toes to the left side of your mat. Turn your left toes to the front of your mat. Extend your arms long. Trikonasana, push the left big toe into the mat. Bump the right hip back. Stretch with the left fingers. Lower your left hand down, breathing in. Lift your right arm up. Look up if it doesn't bother your neck. Or look straight ahead or even down. And reach your right arm alongside your ear. Lower your right hand down to the mat. Lower your right knee. Reach your left arm behind you. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Final option is to bend your right knee, catch it with your left hand, and instead of pulling the heel towards you, press it away. Use that to get a little bit deeper into your psoas, your hip flexors, and also to open your heart. Softly lower the right foot down to the mat. Bring your left hand back to the top of your mat. Lift your knee. Start to straighten your left leg. And then pluck your left foot off the mat. Step it back to downward facing dog. Inhaling breath, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Cobra pose, breathing in. Exhale, lower your forehead to the mat. Keep your right hand where it is. Take your left hand forward. Come up onto the fingertips. Press into your right hand. Lift your chest up. Look over your right shoulder. Lower all the way down. Bring the left palm underneath your shoulder. Reach your right fingertips forward and lift up. This time, look over your left shoulder. And then slowly lower down. This time, bring your right hand by your chest. Press into the tops of the feet. Full cobra, so lifting up a little bit higher. You can keep your elbows bent, but keep your pelvis down, neck long. Exhale, lower slowly to the earth. Tuck your toes. Press your hips back to your heels, and then lifting the knees off the earth for downward facing dog. Breathing here for 5 full breaths, or maybe coming into child's pose if that's what's better for you right now. And once again, come up onto your tiptoes. So these are purposeful steps, building the arm and the shoulder strength as you push your palms into the earth, walking forward to the very top of the mat again. Feet are hip distance. Bring your right fingertips below your nose or to a block, bend your right knee. Breathing in, extend the left arm up and twist, open. Wrap your left arm behind your lower back. Reach for your right hip crease and start to deepen your twist. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, lower the left fingertips back to the earth. Bend your left knee. Inhale this time, your right arm twists open. Turn your left ribs up to the sky. Even in these simpler movements, where can you lengthen more? Where can you breathe a little more deeply into your body? Reach your right arm behind your back. See if you can find your left hip crease. Breathing in, draw your right shoulder back and twist. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, return the right hand to the earth. Toe heel the feet together. This time take the arms out wide, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Breathing in, circle the sun, lift the arms. As you bring your hands to your heart, draw your right knee to your chest. Airplane pose, extend the right leg behind you. Micro bend the left knee and slingshot your heart forward. Finding that little essence of cobra or up dog in your chest. Slow motion, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Inhaling breath, lift the arms up. As you exhale, come back into the closed twist. So extend the right hand forward, lower it down. Inhale your left arm up. So option one this time is to return to that Vishnu's couch shape. Option two is to take the peace sign fingers of the left hand to the big toe of the left foot. You want to think about pressing your right big toe mound into the earth as you draw your left leg up for Vajrasthana, side plank. Now see if you can keep a hold of the toes if you have them, and slowly for a count of 5, step the foot to the top of the mat for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now if you're in Vishnu's couch, you can just turn your toes forward. Lower your right knee down. Press your hips back for half splits. Option 1, stay here. Option 2 is full splits. Extending the left heel forward, trying to stay on the ball of the right foot, and lowering gently down again. See if you can keep a little bit of engagement. Lift up the pelvic floor so you're not just sinking. So this is an active splits pose. Now, whichever version you're in, your fingertips, your palms are pressing into the earth. Right toes are tucked. Engage your pelvic floor, engage your core, and slide that straight left leg all the way back into your three-legged dog. Once again, bend your knee, open your hip. Now straightening the left leg, square the hips. Take your left knee to your right tricep, twist. Inhale, left leg lifts. You can repeat that a couple more times, or if your knee catches the tricep, you can bend your elbows, heart forward, extend the left leg out. If you tip forward a little bit, you might find your right foot flies. Lower the right foot down, lower the left foot down, back into fallen triangle, ground your right heel, lift your hips, lift your right arm. Lower your bum all the way down to the ground again. Flex your toes, bring your fingertips out in front of you. Start to walk the hands forward. And again, just finding your edge. Sometimes I like to actually, instead of folding all the way down, use the fingertips like claws again. Pull the heart forward, so you're lengthening your spine a little more, rather than just slumping into a forward fold. Finding a few deep breaths here. Now walk your hands back. You're going to bring your left hand back to the top of the mat. Press into the hand. Lower your right foot, lift your hips so you're back in your fallen triangle. Bring your right arm overhead, right hand to the top of the mat. Come on, the ball of the right foot. This time drop your left knee into your nose, round your spine. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot all the way up between your thumbs. Turn, quarter turn to the right, so we're right in your skandasana this time. Bring your left fingertips down, out in front of you as far as you can. Maybe stretch your right arm up. Maybe finding a bind behind the left hip, looking over your right shoulder. Now bring your hands back to your heart or fingertips to the mat. We're going to bring it into Vishnu's couch on the right leg. So lift your hips. Bend your right knee so you find your skandasana first. Left hand to the top of the mat. Turn to the right. Come to the outer edge of the left foot. Right toes turn. Now just for a little fun, you can stay here if you want. Or you're going to lift your hips. Reach your right arm alongside your ear and see if you can lift your left leg off the ground and then lower it back down. Drop your left hip, Vishnu's couch. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other and then lower back down, Vishnu's couch. Bring your right hand to the top of your mat, which is now the back of your mat, finding that long pyramid stance. Straighten your right leg. Maybe flex your toes. Glide the heart forward and just melt. Relax your head. Relax your neck. Now this time we're coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So rebend your right knee. Walk your right hand or block out in front of you, about 8 inches in front of your right foot. Lift your left toes up to hip height.
Turn your left toes to the left, so you're opening up the hip again. Bring your left arm up to the sky. Staying here, or maybe finding Chapasana, so a little bend in your right knee helps here. Draw your left heel towards your booty. Left hand holds the foot. Now start to press the foot away from you, just like we did in our lunge, to open up the chest a little bit more. Now this time, letting go of the foot, find your half moon once again. Square off your hips, hip points to the earth, left hand to the mat. Lower your left foot beside your right and forward fold. Halfway lifting your breath in. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Now toe heel your feet in together, bend your knees, chair pose, lift your arms. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Take your right elbow to your left thigh and twist. Press your left hand into your right, and that's going to help you to twist a little bit deeper. Make sure your right knee doesn't sneak forward in front of the left. Now this time, look down the top of your mat. Draw your right heel towards your butt. So you're balancing. Or not. Oops. Now, we're going to try to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Crescent lunge, twist. Breathing in, come up into your high lunge. Now you're going to straighten your left leg. All 10 toes turn to the right. So your feet are parallel or slightly turned in. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Prasarita, wide-legged, forward fold. Now keep your feet exactly as they are, but walk your hands to the top of your mat. So what you're feeling is more length, more space along the left side. Again, try not to tip all the way back into your heels. Now turn your right toes to the top of the mat, come to the ball of your left foot. Set your left knee down. Good. Half splits, just flexing your right toes back, lengthening your heart forward. Now this time we're going to roll to the outer blade of your right foot. So your right toes turn out to about 3 o'clock. And you're going to turn your hands to the right. So you should feel this in your IT band. Breathing here. Now turn your right toes back to the top of the mat. Bend into your right leg. Bring your palms flat to the mat. Lift your left knee and start to straighten your right leg. Pull the hips back. Flex the toes. Now pluck your right foot off the mat and step it back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling breath, forward high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the earth. Find cobra pose, breathing in. And exhale, lower your forehead to the earth. Now this time, take your fingertips off the mat. So we're coming into this fingertip cobra pose. Press your toenails down, roll your shoulders back and down. On your inhaling breath, use your strong hastabandhas. Lift the heart up off the earth. Should feel so open now, so free. Exhale, lower slowly down to the earth. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting your cobra head right at the top. Exhale, lowering back to the earth. 1 more time, breathing in to lift. Exhale, lower sweetly to the earth. Bring your hands by your chest, tuck your toes, press your hips back to your heels, and then lifting your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Coming again to those tippy toes, walking forward, again with purpose. So when we practice purposefully, we keep our mind focused and engaged, but we also really learn, see our strengths, also our weaknesses, and being okay with both. Bring your feet hip distance. Peace sign fingers. This time we're going to hook your big toes. Press your big toes into your peace sign fingers and create a seal with your thumbs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Look forward, slide your shoulders out of your ears. And then exhale, bend your elbows to either side of the room and draw your chest to your thighs. Again, bending your knees as much as you need to. Bringing your fingertips to the mat. Toe heel your feet together. Reverse swan dive all the way up to stand, reaching the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands to your hearts. Draw the left knee up to hip height. Airplane pose, sweep the left leg back. Lift the chest. Keep a tiny bend in the right knee to help you balance. Slowly step the left foot to the back of the mat. Breathing in, lift your arms up. As you exhale, left arm reaches forward and down, right arm reaches up, close twist. Vishnu's couch, right toes turn to the right, you come to the outer edge of the left foot. Maybe lower your left hip. Stay here, lift your hips up a little. Take your peace sign fingers, hook them around your right big toe. Now push the sole of the left foot to the mat and lift your right leg up into the air. Again, keeping a tiny little bend in the left knee can help here. Then we're going to keep a hold of the foot and the toe if we can, and step it to the top of the mat for 5, 4, 3, tricky, 2, and 1. And if you're in Vishnu's couch, you're just going to turn the toes around. Set your left knee down, hips back, half split. Flex your right toes, heart forward. Stay here, or keep sliding your right heel forward. Squeeze your pelvic floor muscles so there's a little bit of buoyancy, a little bit of lift there, and you're not just collapsing, sinking into the splits. Breathing deeply. Now we're going to transition into our 3-limbed downward facing dog. So tucking the left toes under if they're not already. Press your palms into the earth, lift the left knee. Sweep the straight right into the air. Bend your knee, open your hip. So your transitions are postures too. Sometimes we get a little mindless about them, but try to be mindful. Take your right knee to your left tricep. Twist underneath your body. Try doing that a couple more times, or if your right knee catches the left tricep, you can lean the heart forward, bend the elbow, straighten your right leg out, tip forward, see if the left foot lifts off the mat. Then lower your left toes down, draw your right into your nose. Extend it out to the left side of the room again for fallen triangle. So the right palm presses down, left arm reaches up, and then slowly lower your bum to the mat. Flex your feet again, fingertips out in front of you, walking forward to the degree that you can. Again, you can claw the fingertips to the earth to draw the heart forward. You might lower your elbows to the mat. You might even take your peace sign fingers again, wrap them around the big toes, and draw your chest towards the earth. Breathing deeply. Now walk your hands back in. Slowly lift your head back up. Bring your right hand back to the top of the mat. Push down into the left foot. Lift your hips. Lift your left arm. Bring your left hand back to the top of the mat. Draw your right knee to your nose around your spine. Inhaling breath, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot to the top of your mat. Take a quarter turn to the left this time. Bend deeply into the right knee for Skandasana. Right fingertips stretch out in front of you if you feel comfortable and supported here. Left arm lifts, twist. Stay here or take the left hand behind you to the back of the right hip. Maybe catch your right hand and look over your left shoulder. Now we're bringing it into Vishnu's couch at the back of the mat. So release your bind, bend your left knee, so you Skandasana into the left leg, plant your right hand at the top of the mat and spin around. Bring your left hand to the new top of the mat, which is the back of the mat. Pour all the weight into the left foot. Lift your right leg up. Open up your hip. So the right toes are turning towards the right. Right hip stacks on top of the left. Take a big breath in. Reach your right arm up. Again, maybe using a block underneath your left hand. If you choose to, bend your right knee, catch your right foot with your right hand, and then press the foot away to turn your chest open. Turn the left ribs up. Bring your right hand down beside your left. Square your hip points to the mat. And step your right foot beside your left and forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, chest to thighs. Bend your knees, chair pose, lift your arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, lean forward slightly. Exhale, left elbow, right thigh twist. Press your right palm into your left and turn to the right. The more you press the palms together, the deeper the twist. Now look down at the top of your mat. Try this balance again. Ground into your right foot, draw your left heel towards your butt.
And then stepping your left foot slowly to the back of your mat, crescent lunge twist. Inhaling breath, high lunge, lift your arms. Now turning towards the left long edge of your mat, straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Take the arms wide and dive forward. Bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your spine and your breath in. And then this time, keep your feet as they are, but walk your hands back to the top of your mat, to the outside of your left foot. Feeling that stretch along the right side. Now walking all 10 fingers and toes back to the top of your mat. Set your right knee down. It's like you're coming back into your half splits. Flex your left toes. This time we're turning the left toes out towards 9 o'clock. And then walking the fingers to the outside of the left leg to twist. Getting a little deeper into that T-bend. Walk everything forward to the top of the mat. Bend your left knee. Lift your right knee. Straighten your left leg. Flex the toes. Lift the foot and step it all the way to the back of the mat. Inhaling breath, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the earth. Finding cobra. Lower the pelvis, lift the shoulders, and exhale, forehead to the earth. Bring your hands underneath your forehead and just pause before we transition into our final closing sequence. Feeling the beating of your heart on the earth. Feeling the warmth in your body. And even in moments of trials and difficulties, there's always something to be grateful for. Even if it's just the breath in your body. And take your right arm out to the side of your mat, your hand in line with your shoulder. Bring your left hand beside your left ribcage. You're going to roll onto your right side. Step your left foot behind you. The more you step the foot back, the further it extends, the deeper the sensation in your right shoulder. Notice where you're gripping, where you're holding on, and ask yourself, do you really need to? Where can you soften? That is one of the greatest lessons of our practice, is not just softening our physical body, but softening our mind. Maybe softening our beliefs, softening our resistance. Now coming back onto your stomach, changing sides slowly, slowly. Left arm reaches out, hand in line with your shoulder. Right hand by your chest. You're going to roll onto your left side and step your right foot behind you. Again, being observant, noticing everything. The more alert we are in our practice, the more alert we are in our life. And slowly coming all the way back to our stomach. And we're pressing back for child's pose. Again, noticing how this feels different to the first time we were in this shape about an hour ago. And what differences do you feel? What differences do you notice? We're going to set up for a supported chest opener on our backs with our 2 blocks or 2 books if you have them. You could also roll up towels into a wedge, and that would work too. I like the medium height setting for the blocks. If you have any neck issues, you might prefer the tallest height setting for the block that's going to go behind your head. But when we lie back, our head is going to be supported on one block, and the lower block is going to go just below the bottom tip of the shoulder blades behind the heart. And it might take you a moment or two to get yourself into that perfect shape where you feel supported, where you feel rested. Extend your legs out or keep your knees bent if that feels better in your lower back. And just bring your arms out by your side. Letting your palms roll up, letting your fingertips curl in towards each other. Closing the eyes or bringing the gaze to the tip of your nose. Feeling the support behind your heart. The support that's opening your heart. gently press up. Remove the block from behind your head. And press up, remove the second block. Then lie back down on your mat. You might notice a little bit of difference in how your spine usually feels after that heart opener. Now bring your legs up into the air. If you can, take eagle legs. You're going to cross your right thigh over your left. A little bend in the knees and hook your right toes behind your left Achilles. If not, just let the right toes hang free. Take your arms out wide to either side of your space. You're going to lower your left toes to the mat. Scoot your hips a little to the right and let your knees go to the left side of the room. Take your gaze over your right shoulder and into this easy spinal twist. Now coming back to center, unwind the legs. Left leg over the right, hooking the toes or letting them dangle. Lower your right toes to the mat. Scoot your hips a little to the left and let your knees go to the right side of the room as your gaze goes to the left. Try to keep both shoulders down if you can. And then slowly coming back to center and making our way into our final Shavasana, quartz pose, bringing your legs hip distance or wider, allowing your body to melt into the earth. Pose of transition, of letting go, of shedding. And sometimes a fearful pose to be left here with your own thoughts, your own mind chatter. Come back to all the work that we've just done, synchronizing our breath with our movements. Now use the breath to quieten your mind, focusing only on your inhales, only on your exhales. Resting here, safe, supported, held. to stay here for a little bit longer, feel free to hit the pause button and rest. And if you are ready to come up, take a moment and roll onto your favorite side. And then gently press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra at our heart center. Eyes are closed or slightly bowed. And this mudra represents unity and union. The union that our practice brings us with one another. The union with ourselves. The union with the spirit. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from all harm and suffering.